Hi, you guys. Hello. Good morning, and welcome back to Love and Light Lessons. I am your host, Christina Johnson, and I'm so excited to be back. We had a little vacation because it was the 4th of July. So I wasn't able to speak to you guys, and I missed y'all tremendously. I actually have been traveling a lot. And it has been such a blessing. Thank you, God, because that's one of the things that I want to do so bad in my life. I want to travel and see all that God has done and all that He has made. And I've been able to do that. I've been to Mexico, went to Los Cabos and Cabo San Lucas. And before that, I had gone to Puerto Vallarta and then came back, went to Charlotte, North Carolina, hung out with my family. For those of you that don't know, that's my hometown, the Queen City. I went to Charlotte, North Carolina because my gym, Effect Fitness, was doing a class there. They're touring our gym. So I went and showed love and had an amazing workout and spent time with my family and my amazing friends whom I love dearly. And I love my family, and I just want to thank everyone that came out to support. I also got back from Charlotte, and a couple of days later, went out to Louisiana for the Essence Fest. So I am back, a little bit tired, but guess what? Hype that I'm on the radio and I'm back on Love and Light Lessons. But we had an amazing time. I met some amazing people, made some amazing connections, and spent time with some of my amazing butterflies. For those of you that don't know, I am a life coach. First and foremost, I help people to live their best lives authentically, to forgive their past, forgive those that have hurt them in the past, and move forward and live an amazing life. So I do this amazing retreat called Amazing Me, Amazing Life. And during that retreat, we do the work. So we're talking about forgiveness and loving ourselves. We're doing the work. We're being pampered. And the women that go through my retreat, I call them my butterflies. So I went to Louisiana with some of my butterflies, and it was so amazing. Two of them had an amazing birthday. Shout out to Tia. Shout out to Christy, my love. Happy birthday to you guys. We had an amazing time. And it actually was my first time going to the Essence Fest, and I had an amazing time there and saw some amazing speakers, and I was so blessed to be on the floor to watch Janet Jackson and Fantasia, and it was really, really a blessing. So I'm back for Love and Light Lessons with Christina Johnson, and today I'm so amped about what we're talking about. Because whether you want to admit it or not, a lot of us have felt this way, okay? We see snapshots of people's lives on Instagram, on Twitter. We see, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. We see a lot that goes on with people snapshot-wise on Facebook. And there's something called social media envy. Have you guys experienced that? I know that I have. I'm going to just be open and transparent with you and let you know that I have. Like I said earlier, I love to travel, right? But I haven't always been able to do that. I'm one of those people that try to take care of the people that they love. I do a lot for people that I care about. I'm not always in the position to just say, hey, I'm going to pick up and go to Dubai, because I'm always trying to make sure that everybody else is good. So in that case, I may pop on social media, see somebody else on a camel, and she faints. Okay? I get so like, oh, Lord, why am I not able to travel yet? Why haven't I been able to go to this place and that place? And I'm like, okay, Chris, pull it together. God's divine timing is everything, okay? And when it is time for me to do so, I know He's going to make it so. And lately, it's been happening. It's important for us to trust the process, but not to covet, okay? And coveting is something that a lot of us do when we see a person live in a certain way, what we think is living a certain way, because sometimes behind closed doors, you never know what is going on, okay? You could see them traveling. That could be a makeup gift for something else that's happened. And one of the things that has happened, unfortunately, in the last couple of days, I'm not, unfortunately, familiar with this young lady, but there's a young lady who was dating an athlete, and she was beaten, pistol whipped. And it's so crazy because I told you guys that we were going to talk about this 2 weeks ago, But when I saw it, I was like, whoa. Because one of the things that she got on social media and said yesterday was not to really covet, not to look at what someone else is going through on social media or doing or admiring their life when you don't know what they're really going through. Like, you don't know that that person is not being beaten. And someone said facades are so much now. And it's true. A lot of time you post, okay, what you post to be. And I don't know if what you post to be is true. And we're not here to like gang up on anyone who is living an amazing life and just post this amazing life that they're living. It's really to bless the people that are looking at other people's lives and feel like their lives aren't going anywhere, they're not doing enough, or, this is not for them. Because at the end of the day, what's for you is for you. And coveting, the definition when I looked it up, it said yearn to possess or to have something. And the synonym for coveting was envy. So we have to be careful with that. It's such a touchy place because it's important that we always support the people that we love when they're being blessed and other people in general, because it's not okay to covet or to hate on a person because they're living great. You don't know what they did to get there. I always say people look at your life on the outside and they're so quick to be like, oh, I want her life. I want to do what she's doing. I want to drive the car she's driving. Honey, you don't even know what the person had to go through, or even myself, like what we had to go through to get where we are. There's a story behind this, and a lot of times people want your glory, but they don't want to go through what you had to go through to get here. Someone says coveting is the only sin that involves thought. Isn't that something? How powerful the mind can be, how we can create a story of how this person is living without even knowing this person or their real circumstances. So it's important for us to understand that we have to trust the process of our own lives, okay? Trust the process and know that this is your journey and everything that's meant for you will happen. But don't slow down your blessings, stop your blessings, waiting on someone else's blessing. You know what I'm saying? You have to know who you are, where you're going, because a lot of times we may want what they have, and it's not even the best thing for us. You have to trust that God is going to give you what is best for you, okay? So today, I want to hear from you guys. I cannot wait. I can't wait to hear you call in and tell me about your experiences with social media envy. Even if it's a situation where you've never felt envy of another person's life and you've only been happy for that person, I want to hear from you, because all of us need to hear tips on how to be able to look at the social media posts without wanting what we see. Today, I want to hear from you about if you felt it. I know when I posted a question on social media that said, IG envy, have you ever felt it? I got some amazing responses, some funny responses, some real responses. A lot of people were like, yeah, I have felt social media envy. Okay, let me give you the number to call in. It's 770-988-6461. I want you to call in. I want to hear from you about social media envy. Someone says God's way is almost tangible when you recognize it. Thank you so much for that, Misa. So I got some responses that I wanted to share with you from one young lady called Didn't You Know? Okay, didn't you know on IG? She says, sometimes I feel social media envy, but then I'm like, no, because what they post can be fake. We all go through things. So everyone paints a perfect picture on social media, but not me. I keep it real. I love that. And it's true. It's like you can make it look one way. And some people are just, like I said, posting what they're really like. The last few months I've been traveling. I've, been blessed to be able to travel. And I've just been posting some pics from our trips and us having a good time, not for anyone else to look at and feel bad, but just to share my experiences. And it's not always that someone's posting to hurt another person. It depends on where we are in life, what we feel. So where are you as far as being satisfied with where you are? I tell people all the time, gratitude is so amazing. You know why? Because when you're grateful for who you are, where you are at this present moment, it opens up your life for so much more, so many more blessings. So it's important that we're grateful for where we are, what we're doing, and that, like I said earlier, that we're trusting the process, because we could be in our process preparing so that when these blessings come, we're ready. We could be in our process and being prepared for these blessings. But if your focus is on someone else's blessing, then how are you going to be grateful for your own? I think it's okay to be grateful in the midst of the process, especially when the process isn't good. I always say that God is working in the background for your good, especially when it doesn't feel like it. That's the hardest time, like for us to be grateful and for us to say, hey, you know what? I'm going through this right now. I got bills that are late. I got bills that are due. I don't know where the money is coming from, but I trust you, Lord. I trust that everything is happening for my good, and that's okay. It's okay to be okay with where you are. But it's so powerful to me to be grateful for who you are and where you are, and to be okay with being in the process. Because the beautiful thing is, you go through these tests, they're preparing you for your testimony. And guess what? The gift that you get from this is so big. It's so big. So I want to hear from you guys. I'm talking a lot, I know. But I want to hear from you. Call in at 770-988-6461. Let me hear your opinions on social media. Envy, IG envy, Facebook envy, Twitter envy. I want to hear from you, because this is some good stuff. This is stuff that we all have felt. Most of us have felt. And it's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. I want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts are on seeing someone else travel. And it doesn't even have to be just travel. Like, you can see somebody, like I said, who looks so flawless, and you like, oh my God, what does she eat? Like, what don't she eat? What pills is she taking? What facial stuff does she use? Her skin is flawless. Like, how do I get my skin to look like that? And honey, it could be filters. Like, you can't get it twisted. Like, it's a process. What you put in your body affects how it looks on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So it could be as simple as you changing your diet. No big deal. Or you could see that person in person and be like, oh my God, so you don't even look like that for real. But yet I'm coveting, I'm jealous, I'm upset, I'm envious of the way that you look when it's filters. So it's very, very important for us to be mindful of what the stories that we're telling ourselves. Is it even true? Everything that you see is not always what it cracks up to be. Yes, it's so sad and disturbing, but it's human too. I feel like, at one point I remember losing so many friends, right? At one time that I was like, what is really happening? Like, why are these people being exposed in my life? People that I've trusted in the past, but now I'm finding out that they're, either they've changed, they think that I've changed, and in doing that, they've been talking behind my back, whatever, and I'm like, okay, what is really happening? Like, I'm losing everybody around me. Looking at what I'm driving, where I'm living, or what I have, and not focused on who I am as a person and on the inside. This is just stuff. Like, I've never seen a hearse with a U-Haul connected to it. You ain't taking none of this stuff with you. It's just stuff. As soon as you drive this car off the lot, guess what? It's depreciating already. You could drive it right back on the lot, sell it back to them, and I promise you, they're not going to give you what you just paid for it. So it's like, at the end of the day, do not think about and worry about what someone else is doing. Get to know them genuinely if you can, or focus more on getting yourself to the place where you can have the things that you desire. And sometimes we desire things that people have, and it's not even what we want. It just look good when they're doing it. So you want to do it. But do you really want to do it? Or do you want to do it just because you see them doing it? Like, it's very, very important that we know who we are, whose we are, what we desire, what we want. So I want to hear from you guys, 770-988-6461. I'm getting some amazing comments online. Thank you guys so much for listening. Being true to what mess you have helps the next person relate and stay humble. And that's so true, because I've posted, like, I've been through a lot. I've been on welfare before, food stamps before, a single mom of two. I've had heart issues before, miscarriages before, all kinds of stuff. And I'm very open about that, being pregnant at 16, again at 19. And I use social media as a platform to share that, because it's important for people to know that it's a journey. And don't look at what my destination has been thus far and think that it's all good. Like, I have suffered. I have been through some things. You know, I've lived with Graves' disease. I've almost died from complications of Graves' disease. I've been in abusive relationships. I've been choked out and had to wear like long sleeve shirts and button-up shirts to work to hide the bruises. So at the end of the day, what seems like it is all good has been a process. And you could be in that process right now and looking at someone else who has been through their process thus far. Because another thing that we have to realize is that life is always going to give us something. It's never going to be, oh, if I get this car, everything will be perfect. Oh, if I have this amount of money in my bank account, everything is going to be perfect. Trust me when I say more money, more problems. The more money you have, the bigger the test. Okay, but also the bigger the blessing. So at the end of the day, don't look at right now on a person and think that, oh, okay, it's all good. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're about to go through. You don't know what their struggles are. The best thing you can do is keep your eyes on you. So thank you for that. Being true to what mess you have helps the next person to relate and stay humble. That's so good. And so you guys are giving me some good stuff on social media. Pick up that phone. I want other people to hear, because I can't get to all the comments, but it would be amazing if you could call in and give some of your wisdom and some of your experience. We have, let's see, another comment. I'm trying to get to them all, you guys. I love you guys so much, and I thank you so much. It says it's God's grace and mercy. Thank you, Martha. It's so true. You get through things because of mercy and grace. I know I go to a gym where we work out to music, right? And we do this thing where you reach over to the right and you reach over to the left. And like it's almost like you're dancing. When I reach over, I pull mercy over me. And when I reach over, I pull grace. So I'm always saying mercy, grace, mercy, grace. And that's what sustains us. That's what gets us through. It's important for you to be grateful. It's important for you to understand that mercy and grace are renewed every morning. And so we have a chance to get every desire of our heart, but we have to focus on getting ourselves together. You understand what I'm saying? Through the process, you're preparing. Like some people say, oh, I want to speak in front of millions of people. Well, how often are you speaking? What are you doing? I was telling my friends last night, I said, I've known that I wanted to be of service all my life. And I want to work in, a spiritual type of setting. I want to be able to bless women. I know I'm doing it. I want to be able to bless as many women as I can. So I remember being in a meeting with my life coach, and she's like, okay, so how much time are you spending working on what you want? Are you praying? How long are you praying? Are you meditating? How long are you meditating? How long are you studying? And at the end of the day, if we take our minds off of what somebody else is doing and start focusing on what it is you want to do, you will see so many doors open up for you. It's nothing like seeing a person who's worked in, let's say, corporate America, but they're creative, right? And all they want to do is make cupcakes. All they want to do is make bath salts. All they want to do is be creative in some type of way, right? They leave their 9 to 5 and they decide, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, right? I'm going to make bath salts for the rest of my life. I'm going to be out here hustling these cupcakes. But every time you see them, they super happy. And you like, dang, you happier than you were when you was making 6 figures. You happier than you were when you were making 5 figures a year. You know what I'm saying? Like 6 figures, 7 figures. But it's because they're living in their passion and they're living in doing what they love to do. So it doesn't feel like work. And that is a very priceless feeling. And you get that from understanding what is it that I want to bring to the table? How do I want to show up in the world? What is it that Christina wants to do? And once you grasp that, you can start working on yourself. And guess what? You're going to be too busy to worry about what anybody else is doing. You're going to be too busy to be on IG. And I think it's important for us to take breaks. I was reading to you guys. I had another comment on social media from Hair Ministry that says, yes, and I had to fast from social media as well. Sometimes you just got to take a break, okay? It can be so addicting. Trust me, I know. These thumbs, okay, they be going ham. So I already know, and especially when you're in an industry where you need social media to big up your business, you need the followers to let them know what you're doing. So we get caught up. And we don't just get on there to post what we're doing. We're watching what everybody else is doing. So it's important for us to understand that you got to focus on yourself, but sometimes you got to take a break. Like put that phone down, that iPad down, and put your laptop down for a second and focus on what it is you want. Because you'll look up, you've been on social media, 2-3 hours. And you ain't done nothing towards your own dreams or what you want. But then you mad, like, oh, how are they doing this, then the third? Probably because they're focused more on getting it and not focused more on that phone. You know what I'm saying? So we have to put the phone down. We have to take fast. The same way we fast from food, or we do juice cleanse, or we do smoothie cleanse, or what have you, you have to do the same thing when it comes to social media. Like you have to take breaks from social media. Sometimes I'll fast and then I'll take a break from social media. You know why? Because every time you open social media, somebody posting something to eat. So I'm not eating. I'm just drinking water. I don't want to see shrimp Alfredo. Somebody making shrimp Alfredo from scratch one time. I was doing the lemon, what do you call it? The master cleanse. Just drinking lemonade with cayenne pepper, lemons, water, and maple syrup. And I went on social media, and this young lady was making shrimp Alfredo from scratch. When I say scratch, I mean the sauce from scratch. She's pouring in milk, she's pouring in cheese, and I was like, I'm going to pass out. At the end of the day, sometimes I'll have to do my fast and fast off of social media at the same time. A young lady who also said that she gets jealous when it comes to food on social media. She's like, I only have social media envy when people post food because I'm greedy. She was like, other than that, I know that the pics people post are just a few seconds of them happy, and sometimes it's not real life. That was Brown_Trini_doll. Thank you, baby love, for coming on my social media and sharing. But that's so true. I'm a foodie too. So I might be on there not coveting, but I might be like, Lord, I need to go find this sandwich. Or I need to go find this or find that, Chris. You know you ain't supposed to be eating that, boo. But I can't help it. Social media is so amazing in so many ways, but it can be a curse in so many ways. So anyway, I'm talking. I want you guys to call in. The number 770-988-6461. I want you guys to call in because I want to hear your wisdom when it comes to social media envy, because it's a real thing. And I want you to know that only you can control your emotions. A lot of people like, oh, when I get on here, she make me feel like I ain't doing. Nobody can make you do anything. It's your choice. No one can make you feel. You choose to feel because you are the only one that can control your emotions. So like I said, maybe sometimes put the phone down. Okay, put the iPad down, put the laptop down, focus on something that you want. If you do feel yourself, getting envious of someone else, then just say, you know what? I'm happy for them because this is what I feel. Gratitude is a powerful tool as it pertains to being blessed because when you're grateful, it opens your life up for more blessings. But at the same time, when you're happy for other people, it opens your life up for more. I know, for instance, I have a best friend. Her name is Tony. Tony AC, she's a celebrity makeup artist. And I remember getting the call about doing the show Atlanta Exes on VH1. I had already turned down like 8 shows over the years because I was so afraid to do reality TV. So when it came time for me, I'm like, okay, this feels like an amazing fit. The creators of the show are, godly people. I let them know up front, all you're going to get is me. I'm not about the drama. That's not who I am in real life. That's not who I'm going to be. It ends up working out. I'm going to do the show. I'm telling Tony, she's so extremely excited. And so we go from her being excited about the show to her doing my makeup every single day, like every single day of the show. And not once messing my makeup up on purpose, or feeling some kind of way. At the end of the day, she's been so amazing at supporting me. And there were many mornings where I would be in her chair getting my makeup done, and I would be like, Tony, I don't know. Like, am I going to look a certain way to people? I don't know how people are going to take this, how they're going to feel about that. And she was like, just be yourself. People are going to love you for who you are. Just be yourself. And she could have easily been like, girl, yeah, I mean, do this, do that, or mess my makeup, make me look crazy. Because when you're secure in who you are, you can be happy for the people around you that you care about, that you love, and you can help them to be great. So, and support them in their greatness and support them in their blessings. I have another comment. Hi, that's my birthday twin. When you can be selfless and applaud someone else, you're creating the atmosphere for that same grace to follow you. And that is so true. That's from L Bella 26. Follow her because she's my birthday twin and she's amazing. But it's so true. It's like you get what you give. I love it when Oprah says karma isn't something that comes eventually. As soon as you do it to someone else, it's already done to you. You don't have a choice. So you treat people like you want to be treated. It's that simple. When you do things and you post them on social media, you want people to be happy for you. You want them to be excited for you. You want them to like your comments. You want them to comment on your post. But it's like, then you get on and you like, oh, I can't stand this girl. I can't believe every time she goes somewhere, she always posting and this, that, and the third. But you want the energy to be great for you and not great for someone else. And that's not a good thing. Okay. What you have to do is be happy for other people and be excited for their blessings because it does. It opens you up for more. And it's okay to be happy for other people. It does not dim your light to light another candle, which is an amazing quote. And it's very, very true. A lot of times people will walk into a room and tear down somebody because they feel like they're not enough. My whole thing is, if you feel like you're not enough, work on yourself. You tearing down another individual and making them feel bad does not bless your soul at all. As a matter of fact, you're going to see it come up again, and it's going to happen again to you, and it's not going to feel good. At the end of the day, we're all imperfect beings. I don't care what your social media page looks like. We're all going through process. We've all been through a process. We have to trust the process. We have to come out of it shining like gold. Have you ever seen a diamond when they first find it? It doesn't look like it looks on your jewelry. It is so important for you to understand that it goes through a process, a rigorous process to come out shining. Life is just like that. It's no different than that. make sure that you trust the process so that you come out like a diamond at the end of the day. Make sure that you're focusing on self. It's so important. Like a lot of times we don't do that. We put the focus on what everybody else is doing, like I said before. And when we're doing that, it doesn't help us to stay focused on what we got going on. And I know it's hard. Like I said, I've dealt with social envy before, social media envy before. Just seeing people vacation and I want to go on vacation. I've even dealt with it with my ex-husband before because Lo knows, and he said this. He called me one day on the phone and he says, Christina, sometimes it's hard to travel because I remember for years all you talked about was traveling and seeing the world. And I'm at home raising the kids. He's out, doing what he does. Like he blesses the world with his music. He's traveling the world. And he's not even a person that likes to travel, okay? He doesn't even like to fly, which is crazy. But he doesn't. And right now he's in Russia. He's in Austria. And I'm like, ooh, have you been to Russia yet? He's like, no, it's a few places on this tour I haven't even been yet, And he calls me. He's like, sometimes it's hard for me to enjoy myself because I'm always thinking this is all Christina wanted to do. And sometimes you get in that rut where you're raising the kids and you're like, well, dang, he doing everything and I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the emergency room and I'm, making the trips to the teacher conference. I'm the only single mom at the private school and all the other, my husbands and wives are there. And it's like, you get caught up in that kind of thing and you feel like, man, what about me? You know what I'm saying? So I have to come back to myself. Like this is a gift in itself. My children are my most special gift from God. And I made a promise to God that I would try to do my best to make them the best individuals that they can be, make them the best individuals that they can be so that everyone that they come in contact with, they bless in some sort of way. In order for me to do that, I have to be there, And so it would take a toll on me sometimes with not being able to go and travel. But now God is opening me up to do that. I have 2 daughters that are grown, like 28, 25. And my 17-year-old is going to be 18 in a couple of months. So now I'm asking myself, okay, you did the work. They're amazing. Now what adventure do you want to have? What is it that you want to do? Now you can go travel and do all the things that you want to do, and now you can go hustle and work and do all of this and all of that. Like, so at the end of the day, we've all felt, envy in some type of way. We've all felt, uneasy feelings about something someone else is doing that you want to do. But it wasn't that God wanted me to do it at that moment. I had a greater gift, and I had something else I had to contribute to. So now I can go. I don't have to worry about there with the nanny, what's going to happen. I've raised my own kids. I've loved on them. I've been there for them. And now they're out gonna live, and living their most amazing lives. And now I can go do all the things that I want to do. It does not mean that I have not felt those things, and it's okay. It's really okay. But in the meantime, I've been fine-tuning myself. I've been loving the process. I've been trusting the process. I've been doing what I love to do. I found myself in the process. I've healed in the process. So you have to understand that things may not happen when you want them to happen, but trust me, it's coming. And the worst thing is for something to come and you're not prepared. So you have to spend this time preparing for what it is you want. I had a young lady named Noda.26 on Instagram that said, yes, she does go through social media envy. Then she realizes, God, I may be taking the wrong path with you. I know I won't fail. Many times we want instant blessings. I rather trust God and not sell my soul for fame. And so it's important to understand that, yeah, you could be following a path. It is the wrong path if it's somebody else's because it's not yours. We are beautifully and uniquely made. There's something for all of us, and there's things that we all set out to do. I feel like we come here with a will for our lives, and it's important that we focus on what that is and not worry about what other people are dealing with and what they're going through. I appreciate you guys following me on social media, listening to the show. It's been a couple of months now. I've been enjoying myself, and the support has been amazing. And shout out to all of my friends, because they're always so instrumental of not just calling in, calling me, texting me, supporting me, letting them know how proud they are of me, but also really coming in as guests and really just being so loving and so supporting. And all of my social media fam, I love you. I thank you. I pray to be a reflection of how you have supported and loved me. And I always tell my friends that when they're like, "Oh, I love you. You're the greatest friend." I'm like, I'm merely your reflection, because I just want to reflect the love that I am getting and receiving. This show goes fast, so I'm trying to squeeze in everything before time is up, you guys. I haven't taken any callers. I've just been talking and talking and talking. But I do want to hear from you. The call-in number is 770-988-6461. I cannot wait to hear from you. I want to hear all about social media envy, how it affects you, if it affects you. How do you keep it from affecting you? Because it's so important to understand that it's going to happen sometimes. It's okay. Now what? What do you do with that? Like, you see somebody vacationing, you want a vacation. Another way that you can have social media envy is not just in travel and beauty. It can also be relationships. Because you'll see couples that look amazing, but you don't know what they're going through behind closed doors. It's crazy because sometimes you could be dating an amazing guy, handsome guy, and girls are all in his DM like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, if this thing don't work out, give me a call." I've had that happen to me. And I've had it happen to me so much that one time I remember I didn't put her face on a line. I just put like from the probably neck down, and was like, I don't understand why as sisters we do this to each other. But a lot of times, women, if you have that man, you don't even know. Like, he could be a real pain. And that person has to go through a lot. They can make it look a certain way publicly. We can make it look a certain way on pictures. But at the end of the day, if you really knew what she was dealing with, you would get out of them DMs. So a lot of times we might see a person in an amazing relationship and it looks so beautiful. I mean, just flawless, like a fairy tale. And for real, the woman is going through hell. And so it's important that we not covet other people's relationships, because you don't know what that person could be going through. And I'm saying that as a person who's been in domestic violence relationships where you might have thought it was cute, you know what I mean? But behind closed doors, it wasn't. So it's important for us not to covet, because really what you are asking for may not be what you want. This ain't what you want, okay? So it's important for us to understand, good for her. And if she is extremely happy and has this amazing person, if anything, I would be DMing her like, "Hey, you guys look stunning. You look amazing. How do I get that? Like, was there anything you did, said, prayed for that maybe I could pray for that could open a door for me to find my Boaz?" Like, for real, instead of getting in a guy's DM and asking for some problems you don't even want, maybe it's important for you to go to the woman's DM and say, "Hey, how did you do this? How did you find this dude? Like, what did you pray for exactly? Can you like type it up and DM me?" Like, respond, because a lot of times it ain't what it's all cracked up to be. And if it is, it's work. Relationships are work. Coming from a person who's been married, been in relationships, it is no joke. So it's important for you to really understand that everything you see on social media is not always what it really is in real life. So you have to be careful about what you're asking for. One young lady, her Instagram is glam_and_the_city. And Glam in the City said she doesn't really get social media envy a lot, but that she sees these things that are amazing and it inspires her. So I think inspire versus covet or jealousy or envy is so much more powerful, because if I look and see that they're traveling or that they're hustling and working hard, it could give me the drive to do more. Like I said, it can make you put your phone down, put your iPad down, put your laptop down, and start focusing on what it is you want, writing down your goals. What is it that I want to accomplish in my own life? I'm a big advocate of goal setting. I think it's important to write down your goals, say short-term goals. In the next 6 months, this is what I want to accomplish. So you write down your goal, and underneath that goal, what I do is I write 5 things that can help me get to that goal. So if I want to lose 20 pounds, 5 things that's going to help me. I want to eat right. I got to exercise. I don't want to eat after 6 o'clock. I want to have my weight in ounces every day, and I want to meditate for at least 10, 20 minutes a day and see myself the way that I want to look. And that's 5 things that I can do to reach that one goal. I'm big on goal setting in that way because it helps me to do the work. Just saying, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, and now what? It's important to set goals for yourself and try to figure out what is it that you want to do. I will pose a question for you. Are you what you post to be? A lot of times we post with the intention of making it look a certain way for other people, but you know good and well that that's not even popping off. You're taking a picture in front of your cousin's car and fronting like it's your car. You know what I'm saying? Like, be mindful of what you're putting out in the universe. That's what I always say. And it's as simple as asking God for what you want. You have not because you ask not. And sometimes we just got to fall on our knees for direction, because sometimes we may not even know what it is that we want. You could say, oh, okay, I want to travel. Girl, you ain't never been on a plane in your life and you scared to death. And if you try to get on one, you're going to pass out and they're going to have to take you to the, to the nurse anyway. You know what I'm saying? To the emergency room anyway. So it's like, you don't want to travel. So why are you coveting travel? Like, focus on the things that you want to do. What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? And in doing that, I'm telling you, you will be creating through faith, through manifestation, what you want your life to look like, instead of worrying about what somebody else's look like. And it's important to do that because we're not all here for the same thing. Everybody don't want to be a life coach. Everybody doesn't want to be an interior designer. Everybody doesn't want to own, a makeup line. Everybody doesn't want to do what I do. Everybody doesn't want to do radio. You have something that is a burning desire in your soul. If you don't, pray and ask God for guidance. But everybody don't want to do what you're doing. There's enough to go around. So you don't have to covet, because the same way they're going, you can go. The same way their relationship looks, you can create that same relationship in your own life. It's important for you to understand that. Someone says, Hershey Dream says, creating a positive, realistic atmosphere, which is true. It's like, I can't be like, oh, I want to own a private jet one day. Yeah, you're not doing anything to work towards that. So ask for realistic goals. Create the atmosphere. And like I said, do the goal setting to where you can start. I remember Brayley Evans was on the show, and she was like, work in the industry that you want to eventually do for yourself. You want to be an entrepreneur, work in that industry. You want to eventually own your own plane, go work at an airport with all these, private jets. Figure out how they're doing this. How do I take care of it? How do I get to this point? How do I build those relationships? One of the things that I noticed at Essence is, and a lot of times when people are out doing certain things, it's based on relationships. Like, even with me, I think I have a lot of respect in the industry because I love everybody. I'm going to promote everybody whose products I love. I don't ask for anything to do it. I just do. But at the same time, I'm not the person that's going to call up, hey, Erica Badu, what you doing? Girl, you want to go out for dinner on Tuesday night? I know her. I may have met her quite a few times, or seen her quite a few times and had conversation, but it's not usually, that's not a strong place for me. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. Okay, you have these relationships. What are you going to do with them? You know what I mean? You can be a blessing to them, but also be open to allowing them to be a blessing to you. And in essence, I was like, these people are building some amazing relationships. And now I have to start building relationships so that when they think of helping women, they like, oh, call Christina Johnson because she got you covered. She gonna have you right. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying, you guys, about this social media envy thing is that sometimes you got to take your eyes off of other people and put them on yourself. Sometimes you got to take your focus off of other people and focus on the things that you want. Sometimes you just got to merely love yourself enough and love yourself to be okay with where you are. Be okay with who you are. Everything isn't for everybody. Your blessing may look totally different. But guess what? When you receive it, you're going to be in heaven. You're going to be in heaven because it's going to be yours, not somebody else's dream. I mean, have you ever seen somebody tear out a picture in a magazine and be like, go to the salon and be like, girl, I want my hair to look just like this. And they look at it and they like, girl, okay, maybe we could put a spin on it, but it looks good on her because of the texture of her hair, because of the shape of her face, because of how big her eyes are. This isn't necessarily going to work on you. You know what I'm saying? Or this color isn't actually the color I think you should use. Like, at the end of the day, it's people wearing hairstyles because it looked good on somebody else. Like, you can't covet somebody else's look. At the end of the day, you have to be okay with yourself, okay? Everything ain't going to look good on me. I'm cool with that. I'm going to focus on what is best for Christina versus what is best for someone else that I see on social media. So it's important for us to really, really be focused on self. Someone said, be true to Martha, be true to self, and your circle will be filled with people who genuinely love you. And that's one of the blessings that I was talking about earlier, is that I have an amazing circle of friends. And I think I know it's because of the love that I put out, I've received in return. And I remember one time sitting on my bed asking God to send me friends, true friends, not somebody that want to get in a concert for free. I want to be around, other people in the industry, but someone who just wants to love me, be there for me, and I be there for them and love them. And we have fun together. We go to lunch together. We go shopping together. Well, I'm not a big shopper, but every now and again, somebody that I can kick it with and have fun with that doesn't have an ulterior motive. And I wrote that prayer, and not only has God sent me besties, he sent me some amazing women whom I've empowered, and in return, they've empowered me. So it's so important for you to be a reflection of the things that you're asking for. If you asking for somebody to be kind, but you're mean, that's not going to work. You get what you give. Create that atmosphere of love, and I promise you, you will reflect the same love that you're giving out. Someone says, I definitely want to start doing that. Like, at the end of the day, it's important for us to put out what we want, and we will get that in return. Think about the things, meditate on the things, pray on the things that you think you might want that may not even be in the will of God. Sometimes you're asking for something that is not even for you. So it's important for you to say, hey, you know what? It's something else I want. It looks good on this person, but that's not necessarily me. And I'm like that. Like, I know I dress alternatively. I have a different kind of style. And I may see somebody else in something cute, but be like, oh, Chris, that ain't going to look hot on you. And I can walk up to her and say, sweetheart, you fly. That's cute. I love that on you. But I'm not going to run to the mall and be like, oh, I got to get that. I'm sure it's going to look better on me or just as good on me. It's like, it's okay to compliment. It's okay to be happy for others without feeling like you have to take. I remember meeting a girl this weekend at Essence. She was so lovely. And she owns, I wish I could remember so I could let you guys know, but she has a salon that does natural hair. And she was like, oh my gosh, Christina, your hair is so dope. Can I take a picture of it? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And she's like, everybody gonna be copying your hair now. And I told her, I said, well, and I got this from my friend Joy Gilliam, who's an artist and has an amazing new album out that you guys got to check out, Sir Rebecca Holy Love. But Joy had said in one of her lyrics, if you don't want people copying you, don't be so dope. I mean, that's the best compliment when someone wants to do something that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't necessarily mean that everything someone else does is going to look amazing on you. You could get the hairstyle and be like, oh, no. I mean, it was cute for her, but it ain't working for me. Someone else says the mob. Let's see. Coveting is the fuel for murder, adultery, theft, and bearing false witness. Wow, that is powerful. Make sure that it's in the will of God, someone else says, which is true. I would hate to draw something to me that's not in his will. One of the things that I always say is that the safest place for me is in his will. And that is so important, like making sure that I am covered, because I don't want to be out here with God without God's covering. That's everything to me. So what you're asking for, make sure that it's even for you. And I put that, why is that at the top of my paper? Ask God, is it for you? You could be asking for something or something that someone else has that you don't even want. You got to know what it is you're coveting. Because if you don't know the full story, you might be asking for the abuse that comes along with the trips. Have y'all ever seen somebody that's always like getting gifts after the dude has, or woman has cursed them out, beat them, and then they're like, they got a new Gucci purse. Okay, you're admiring the Gucci purse, not even understanding that a black guy came with it. So be mindful of what you're asking for. Goddess Soul says, I'm going through a transitioning phase, and a lot of people and things are being removed, not by me, but God, to make room for what is for me. And I was saying that earlier is that I went through that. I lost a lot of friends, a young lady that I had helped for years in business, and then turned around and heard that she was saying the most awful things about me. And it really hurt because I had really sacrificed a lot for her. And just to hear that you would stab me in the back that way. But sometimes God is taking you higher. He's taking you places that other people can't go. And he's not going to let that dead weight be on you and them to be blessed by your blessing. So they have to be dropped off. And as bad as it felt to lose all these people, I'm telling you, like 5 people at one time, back to back to back. It felt so good, and I feel so lightweight right now because I don't have that negative energy around me. I don't have that, wondering who talking about me behind my back. What are your true intentions? Miss I'm Unique, which I love that name, says, can you repost on your time at work but need this message? Oh, yeah, sweetheart. I'm going to leave the Insta, because she's on Instagram Live. I'm going to leave that up. It only stays for 24 hours, but you can always watch the show, you guys, on YouTube Live on the 108 Praise Radio page. You can go to the website, 108praiseradio.com to watch. They also have a Facebook page you can watch it on. You guys can Ustream. The last post that I made on social media has all the ways to watch. So there's always a way for you to look at these things. Please check it out. I know I've been talking a lot today. I didn't even take any calls. But I just want you guys to know that you're enough. Like, you are enough. You are uniquely made. You are beautiful and perfect in God's sight. And whatever is for you is for you. Now, it may not come today, tomorrow, next month, next year, but you best believe it's on the way. You absolutely have to be okay with the process. You absolutely have to be okay with who you are. And I've been through so many things, like I said earlier, promiscuity. Oh my gosh, promiscuity, because I didn't have my father in my life, and I looked for that energy in boys, So I was out there when I was young. I had a child at 16, again at 19. I've been through so many things, losing children. I've been through abusive relationships, and it's like, at the end of the day, I'm so grateful to God for every one of those experiences, because every last thing that's ever happened to me, every dumb decision I've ever made, every wise decision I've ever made has shaped me. Every fight that I've had to fight, whether it was for my life or certain situations in my life that I've had to fight through, has blessed me. I wouldn't go back and change it to be, and I don't care how good your life looks, I would not go back and change anything to live the life of anyone else. I'm so grateful to God for who He's made me and the things He's allowed me to go through, because it has made me the most loving, kind, giving, fun, loving, and funny individual. I have a love and a heart for God, and I have a love and a zest for life that no one can ever take from me. And that's all because of the things that I have been through in my life. All of that stuff, whether good or bad, has created someone very, very special. And I'm so happy to be Christina. And as beautiful as your life may be, even when you riding on them camels, and I be seeing y'all in Dubai, I'm still happy. I'm still happy for you. And I just had the opportunity while I was in Mexico to ride a camel. And I was just as happy as if I was in Dubai. It was so beautiful there. The scenery was so amazing. And I'm like, look at God. I'm thinking about riding a camel here, and He takes me somewhere else that's just as beautiful, and I'm doing the one thing that I wanted to do. So I would just say to all of you that are looking at other people's social media, and it looks like the most amazing thing you've ever seen, be happy for them. Be excited for them. And then turn around and be excited for you, because God has something so powerful for you. And do not allow staring at someone else's blessing to deter you from getting your own, to make it further away than it has to be. Focus on yourself. Focus on making yourself better. Trust the process. Pray, meditate, do what you have to do to allow these things to happen. I love you guys so much. I'm sorry for not taking any callers today, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm giving you all of this meat, because I feel like it's such an important thing for us to really buckle down and focus on our process and focus on our journey and love ourselves. Forgive your past, because guess what, baby? You're not going through anything we all haven't already been through. You didn't invent the wheel. It's okay. Be vulnerable. Be open about the things that you're going through, and be okay with it. Because guess what? On the other side of that, and I'm telling you from a person, like I said, who was a young mom on welfare, on food stamps, promiscuous, having children very early, on the other side of that stuff, who was being choked out, on the other side of that crap, right? Or those hard times, or that test, is something so beautiful. And if He can do it for me, He can do it for you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Love and Light Lessons with Christina Johnson. I cannot wait to talk to y'all next week. We're talking about the power of prayer, okay? So we're going to watch these things manifest and change through prayer. I cannot wait. I love you so much, and there is nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next Wednesday from 11 to 12 on 108 Praise Radio.